Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia video. And today, we are going to hop into the Bahamut, the Divine Bahamut Lufenia Plus. So this is going to be kind of like a how to beat. It's a little bit different format than my other Lufenia clears. Normally I just record them, sometimes just with background music, sometimes with commentary, but I've already beaten this one. I've taken some time to look at it, taken some time to do it. So I'm going to go through kind of my team comp and then talk about the strategy going through. I'm not going to guarantee I'm going to win in this round. It is a pretty tough fight, but I was able to beat it with this team, so we're going to attempt to beat it in this video. So I'm running Prishe just as a main DPS. I'm running Rem because turn manipulation I think is very important in this fight, and we'll talk about that as we go through. And then Celes is really there for like damage mitigation, which is very, very good, right? And she's also like synergy, so running synergy characters is good. Now, Prishe and Celes are divine boosted, which means as long as you have one of them on the team, the whole party becomes boosted, which is really, really good. So let's go ahead and hop in, and we'll talk about this, because I think some people maybe get a little bit confused by the orb and like how it's working. Who do I want to bring as a friend? I kind of wish more people ran Y'shtola friends. Like, if you're on my friends list, like, someone should set Y'shtola. She's very good, because I kind of want her as just like a panic button. In case like I accidentally die, you can bring her in and like revive characters, but I like having that kind of panic button. But sure, let's just do a friend Yuna, sure. I'm not even sure if I'll use her, but we'll see. The other thing that's really important in this quest is having healing, which Rem and Celes definitely help with, right? So we'll talk about it. So basically the way this fight works is there's 3 enemies, but Bahamut is the only one you can actually damage. The 2 side enemies you can't kill. The idea here too is with the orb, which is a very, very tough orb. It only will be at 3. When you get to the end, the last time he brings up the orb, it's only at 1 count. The orb only ticks down when the boss takes a turn. But the boss is framed turns, so you can't push them back through breaking, and actually later in the fight they can't be broken at all. So you really have to try to stay in front of the boss, which is why having turn manipulation is so important, which is why I've got Rem to help. Now, Sid Reigns is a really important character. In the clear I did bring a friend, Sid Reigns. I should have brought a Sid Reigns call. I'm crazy. I didn't bring a Sid Reigns call for this, but that's fine. Let's go ahead and put some debuffs on. We'll just get this thing started. I did do some runs with Sid Reigns, but I think my final run, I did end up going with Celes instead. It's just you have to make sure that when the orb is up, because they have pretty, like, quick thresholds where you just power through them and get the orb gone again. I think it's got 3 or 4 separate thresholds that it goes through, right? So with Celes, let's just go ahead and do the AA because I can. And then we're going to go ahead and freeze dive. So Celes' freeze dive is really important in this fight because you're getting off-turn damage and healing. Because what can happen in this fight is even, let's say you have the side enemies fully broken or like it broken as far as you can, they brave charge themselves really quick and can take a turn again with like full damage before you even get another turn, right? So Rem, let's just start with a free turn here. And you can see the enemies take a lot of turns in a row, right? So you can see I can't even see Celes on the map right now. So what I might do, let's go ahead and put some more debuffs on. Just get some damage in early. I probably could have saved these calls for later on, but we'll see how this goes. We'll see how it goes. Okay. So Rem, I'm going to swap just because Celes is so far back. Let's bring her up. And then Prishe has a turn coming up pretty quick here. So the idea with the orb is that it's going to have a low turn count, but you can freeze the orb by taking just consecutive turns with one of your own characters. So I think the idea here is they want you to use Prishe because Prishe like has a couple of things where she gets a free turn back to back. And then when the boss goes, the orb won't tick down if it's frozen. But if you do back-to-back turns and then let a party member go, it resets and it's no longer frozen. So you just have to be very careful. They give you more leeway early on. But when the last one goes through, it's only at 1. So it's probably pretty good to save a summon or a burst phase for that last orb, which comes at like 30%. I think it's at 29%, that last orb. But you can see, the boss is going to constantly shoot out like big AoE damage, but because Celes is absorbing it, that's like less brave the enemy is getting. So we're barely taking damage, and then the Magitech Ice Blocks are just healing us up right away. Plus I've got Rem for spot healing as well if I need it to. So what I'm going to do is, so with Prishe, I really focus single target. So I'm using 1 Aeon Punch here, and it's very strong damage. It's like, yeah, almost 800k. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the AA on right away. I'm really liking Prishe, by the way. I'm going to probably be using her a lot. She is just an insane damage dealer. And I'm actually going to drop down the EX right away because we want to get the Imperial on for her elements. Because I've got 3 spheres on her that all depend on weakness damage, so I want to be hitting weakness damage with her. And then Rem, Sure, I can let the B enemy go. We'll just pop an LD just to get a little damage in here, refresh all that. But Rem, I'm pretty much swapping turns most of the time in this fight, and using her EX. But even Rem, as a support character, is doing really, really nice damage here, right? Okay, so we've got a free skill use here. That's coming from Rem's LD. I think we'll just, even though I got free skill use, I'm not running out of skill uses. Let's just get her EX going. But Celes definitely puts in work. Like, in the right fights, if it's magic damage enemies, she definitely is putting work in, and her off-turn damage and healing is actually really clutch. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we need to... I guess I'll use the AA again and just refresh it since I have that extra free skill use. Even though I know I just put it on. And we're going to do LD first, and then we're going to get her burst effect up in the next turn. This is the single most damaging LD in the game, by the way. This is like over 2 mil. Yeah, 2.3 mil. It's just crazy. Alright, so you can see very low countdown. So he is getting a turn right away. It's only going to tick down 1, so we're fine. And then the goal is we just have to get him below 80%. And we just have to make sure he doesn't take too many turns, right? But you can see we're waiting till, you know, just the A comes up. So we got a little bit of time here to play around. What I'm going to do, since I've got a free skill use, I'm going to use the AA here with Rem. Get a little chip damage here. Okay. Alright, and then what we're going to do is I want to use the EX, but I kind of want to swap turns. So let's swap, and let's get Prishe up again. So we can get Prishe doing some damage. I want to get Prishe burst effect up. And then this is going to do big damage to get the enemy. We want to get Bahamut through the threshold, basically, is what we want to do here. So let's go ahead. I did bring Onion Knight Call for a little turn manipulation, which is good. I should have brought Sid Reigns for a second one so I could do it twice. That's my bad, but we'll see how it goes. I opted for more of like the damage dealing calls. But realistically, I probably should save those calls for later in the fight when I really need to burst the enemy down, but that's fine. But the nice thing with this orb is we can take all the turns we want. It won't tick down. So just as a side note, Shulk is dropping. I'm recording this the night Shulk comes out. The video will release after Shulk drops. But Shulk can be actually a very good character for this fight, because Shulk's whole deal is just taking like a bunch of turns. So I think releasing Shulk after this was intentional, because they knew some players would struggle with this fight, and Shulk is a great character to beat this. Because Shulk can just sit in front and just take a bunch of turns. Because if you don't give the enemies turns, this is actually a fairly easy fight. Because that's the only thing that hurts you is like giving the enemies turns and like letting that orb go off. Obviously, it's a lethal orb, so you don't want to do that. Our freeze dive is good, so in between, let's just Shine Edge some more. Her runic should still be active, so we should be good to go there. Yep, and you see that the enemies, they like the Brave Charge a lot. So that's why the off-turn attacking is very good. Alright, Prishe now has everything on, so now we're basically focusing on the 15 CP, because that's the big single target. Look at that, 8.5k, or 850k damage, just on a 15 CP attack. Free skill use, I'll take the free cure for some Brave, and then take the free chip damage. And the boss, we should have the orb almost done here. Because, yeah, as soon as I hit him one more time, so I'm going to swap back into Prishe again. We're going to take a big shot here. And actually, this is what you would do. This is the whole idea, is use Rem to swap into Prishe, right? And then Prishe, when you're on the 1 Ilm Punch spinning attack, you're going to get the back-to-back turns, which fulfills the orb condition. So what I would do is I would 1 Ilm Punch. Now, we won't see it here because the orb is actually going to go away. Yep. So it is a very low count orb, but once again, you have to understand that some orbs act differently. It's not going to go down when you take a turn. I think some people see that and are maybe intimidated by how low the turn count is. But you just got to stay in front of the enemy. Use turn hoggers. Turn hoggers work really great here. You have to be careful though. Like, you can't use Zidane to delete turns. You can't use like lightning. Like, those type of turn hoggers don't work well here because it requires them to break. And the enemies can't be broken during certain intervals of the fight. So you really don't want to depend on that. What I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop the EX here. Yep, we'll do that. That looks good. I did bring Shiva Summon just because it increases my speed a little bit. I'm just really trying to stay in front of the enemies as much as possible. I'm sure some people probably have taken maybe Noctis into this to use his, like, his niche to keep you in front of the enemy. I'm sure Noctis could work really well here. But I think Sid Reigns is a really popular pick for this fight because you can kind of treat it like a single target fight because there's only one target you're trying to damage, and Sid Reigns has a ton of turn manipulation. So you could do the Sid Reigns Rem combo is very good, and Sid Reigns Aphmau could work, but Aphmau just she doesn't really cut it in today's game. She's still quite weak. Rem does a lot more damage. So what are we going to do here? Do I need to refresh my AA? Yeah, my AA is only at 1, so let's refresh that. I know I'm wasting a burst turn, but that's fine. I think my LD is still good, so let's go ahead and just do this. Do some big damage. Yeah, almost a mil on the 15 attack. Like, Prishe is just an insane damage dealer. My goodness. Alright, so I've got a free skill use here. I think I'm just going to swap turns. And I think I'm going to bring Celes up, actually. And I'm going to refresh my Magic Tech Ice Block. Okay, so let's do Magic Tech. Yep, we'll do Freeze Dive here. Get that refreshed. Okay, so far this fight's going pretty good, though. It's going pretty clean so far. Like I said, I think people that play this and don't understand how the orb works can get super frustrated, right? You just have to try it a couple times and really understand what it's doing. Then I feel like I want an LD. Rem's AA is about to run out, so let's refresh that. How many turns does she have on her LD buff? It might be too soon to LD. Yeah, we'll just use the LD, that's fine. There we go. And now we'll get a free skill use on the next turn for both my teammates. But yeah, this setup, like with Celes absorbing so much of the damage and doing the off-turn damage, like this won't hardly hurt at all because of Celes absorbing most of this. Yep, see that? Just really good mage tank. But you can see now we can't break again. That's why you can't run characters that rely on breaking. Because obviously Zidane would be like the #1 choice here, but the enemy's got locked turns and you can't break. So he actually gets shut down pretty darn good here. We are going to 1 Ilm Punch. I kind of just feel like popping the LD for some really fat... No, I'm going to save the LD. Yeah, I want to save the LD for when I'm trying to, like, get out of a threshold for an orb to really just, like, push damage through. So I'm going to wait on the LD. Yep, Magic Tech block's going through. So I think what's going to happen is my run, like, if I keep at it like this, it's going to go pretty smooth till the end. I just have to be really careful around that last threshold when it's only got 1 turn on it. You have to be really, really careful there. I think I'm going to use the AA here since I got a freebie. Okay. And then let's go ahead. EX sounds good to me. But yeah, I've just got so much healing built up in this team. I've got just enough defense. I've got a lot of power coming through Prishe. Like, Prishe is just carrying the damage here. I guess I'll use Spinning Attack because I do believe there's a buff tied to that I haven't activated yet. So let's do that at least. Okay, and then sure, let's EX and refresh that. We want to keep the weakness damage coming. Plus, it does really good damage, 1.2 mil. Okay, and then Rem, I think let's just... Since I've got the freebie, I could pop a Cure and then Siphon Delta, but I kind of want to swap turns. I want to give Prishe some more action here. Let's get Prishe up front. Good, and the ward vanished, now I can break again, which is awesome. Okay, nice. And then, sure, let's go back to my single target. I think 59 is going to be a threshold. I think he's going to do an orb right when I bring him below 60. So the timing there was good. Because what's really bad is you don't want to hit him and put him into an orb turn right when it's about to be his turn, because it's going to tick down immediately, right? I think that happened to me the first time. You have to be really careful, because if that happens on the last threshold, you'll just insta-die, because he'll pop the orb. So you have to be really careful on that last one. Now an EX sounds good here. And once again, for those of you not as familiar with my channel, I'm not like theory crafter, I'm not like crazy optimizer. I'm pretty much like, think of me as just like an average player, kind of going through, figuring out the fight, all that. Okay, so now that we've got the orb up, so this is how this works. So watch, I'll do 1 Ilm Punch. And then I'm going to do a back-to-back turn here. And then my back-to-back turn, I'm going to use the LD, because I really want to push through this orb. Do a bunch of damage. Okay, now see how it's frozen? The problem is when Celes takes a turn, it's actually going to like reactivate. So that's kind of unfortunate. So sure, let's go ahead and Shine Edge here. Yeah, see it reactivated. So what I would do here technically is like with Rem, I would go into Prishe and then do back-to-back turns. But I think I'm going to be okay. I think I just got to get this to 49 and the orb's going to go away. So I would actually be fine even if I gave him a turn here. What I want to do here, my AA is good. I'm going to take a free cure here and just do some chip damage. And then I'm going to swap into Prishe and let Prishe take a huge shot. And I think I should be fine. And I'm going to save my summon and my burst phase for the last 2 thresholds is my plan here. So then let's go ahead and, yeah, let's swap into Prishe. And let Prishe take a huge shot. Okay. Yeah, Rem is just so good with that off-turn chip damage that she's constantly doing. Ooh, an EX here will be really nice. Let's do that. That'll be big damage. I don't think I'll get below the threshold yet. We got to launch with it, though. No, 51. So he's going to take the orb once, which is fine. He can take it once. Now, we can't let the orb go again. We did take a little bit of damage there. Okay. So we got to be really careful here. So this is definitely like a cure. Because we need to heal up. Just instantly healed, right? And then we got to make sure that we get him below the threshold before he goes again. Which we're going to here. I would probably be okay with Siphon Delta, but I kind of want to swap. And I'm actually going to go to Celes. Because I want to make sure that Celes has her... I want to make sure that she has her Runic active still. So we're going to go ahead and... I think Runic is a free turn, right? Yeah, let's just Runic because it's free. That's the other thing. Celes works for this fight. Because with Runic, you can do back-to-back turns with her as well. That should wipe the orb there, though. Oh, no, the orb is still up, so we got to get another 10%. Okay. We're okay, because right now the... Bahamut's not going yet. So let's just go again. Prishe should have a turn coming up. So if I play it right... Yeah, so I froze the orb there. Because I did back-to-back turns. So Celes also helps with the back-to-back turns here. And actually, Rem can do it too. So this whole team can back-to-back turn. Because with Rem, I could just cure and then do an action and we're good, right? So I'm going to do this. Actually, shoot, I don't know if I'm on a 1 Ilm punch turn. I might have messed up there. Because if I'm not on a 1 Ilm punch turn, then I don't get back-to-back turns guaranteed. And I don't remember if using the AA counts. No, so see, I'm not. So, you know what? I'll just use my call here. Because I'm going to, as long as I save, if I save my summon, my burst, I should be fine. So I'm going to go ahead, yeah, let's use my call. And then we can bring Celes up front. And then we're just going to guarantee get more turns here. That's fine. Okay. And then what we'll do is we are going to... Alright, so my burst effect is gone, but I've got the free AA, so let's do that. And then I'm going to go ahead and do my single target here. Actually, yeah, I'll do my single target. Okay, and then if Prishe gets another turn, I'll be able to go back-to-back. So... I could go back-to-back here, but I don't have to. Let's do set lock all on. I think my freeze dive is still good. Yeah, I still got 3 turns of ice block. Do I have it on every enemy? They got 2 turns. All right, I think we're going to not LD here, but I'll LD on the next turn. And then, I don't know, since it's basically freeze, sure, let's just Runic. Because then, basically, I'll just play it really safe and, like, freeze the orb here with, like, every character. Yeah, let's just do that. Yep, orb is frozen, so if he got a turn, we'd be fine. And then Rem, so, like, Rem could cure. And then Rem could take a free turn also, but I think I'm going to swap into Prishe here. So let's swap into Prishe. And then Prishe for sure will do the back-to-back turns. Well, then we got Rem again. So sure, if we're going to keep going back and forth, that's fine. We can just do that little juggling act for a while. So now I've got the 1 Ilm punch turn again. So yeah, sure, let's do that. Very nice. Okay, and then I think I'm going to do a backhand blow just because I haven't done that in a while. Sure. Okay. And the orb is frozen. And then I've got, again, where, yeah, I could just swap back into Prishe and let's do it again. Yeah, Rem is so good, dude. The turn manipulation, I love it. It's great. So this guy's just been sitting at 1 turn on the orb, right? Okay, so now I'm going to 1 Ilm. And then I'm going to nullifying dropkick here. And then even if you get... Oh, I think we're actually going to get the orb gone anyways, but this would freeze the orb, so we're fine. Yep, orb is frozen. Special countdown canceled anyways. Okay. So, actually, I think we've only got one more threshold. So, I'm actually really good here. What I think I'm going to do is on Prishe's next turn, I'm just going to go through the burst and just burst him down as far as I can. And then I can like immediately go into summon basically. So I think I'm going to kind of power through the rest of this at this point. So let's just start with the free turn cure, just because I've got uses to use up. Oh, so yeah, we need to refresh the LD. So let's get, I kind of want to swap turns, but I want to get the LD off. Yeah, we got to do the LD because we ran out. So we got to get that refreshed. That's fine. I'm not worried about the ads on the side killing us here. And we're going to get to Prishe's turn and then we're going to go burst phase. Do I have any calls that can do anything here? I've got a whip kick. So, I mean, Runic is free, so sure. We'll take free damage anytime we can. That's the other thing this team is doing because of Rem's LD. Like, we're getting, like, so many free uses just to use, like, LDs and stuff, which is really cool. I actually think I'm going to do Whip Kick here because we want to put we want Vieira's Punishment back on, right? Okay. So we got Vieira's Punishment back on, a little bit of debuffing going on. Then I think I'm going to LD. Just make sure I got my Magitech Ice Block, because I think that was running out on the enemies. So that's good to get that refreshed here. Okay, got a little launch, sure. Okay. Yep, and they're just going to do their little thing. Yep, we're going to take that. And I think Prishe's going to burst here. Here's the thing. Actually, bursting with Prishe right now would be really bad. Because since Bahamut's got the next turn, if I put him in the threshold, he's going to insta-kill. So right now is actually a really bad time to do it. This is tough because, yeah, I've got to wait. I can't do it yet. I got to be really careful here. All right, so what might happen is I've got to let him take this turn, actually. Yeah, I've got to, hopefully we can eat this just fine. Yep, we ate that just fine. That's good. Okay, that's good. Yeah, because putting him, because I think 29, he's going to go threshold, so we got to be really careful here. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. Yep, okay. So we definitely, yeah, we got poison on too, which is bad. I definitely want to cure here. Actually, Siphon Delta would have cured. That would have been fine, but... okay, so I like Celes having a turn in front of Prishe here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to Siphon Delta, let him take his turn. Yep. Oh. Rem could get broken here, though. Okay, no, we're good. Okay, so do your turn. Yep, that's fine. Ooh, a bunch of debuffs, whatever. Okay, now we're going to burst with Prishe here. Because now I feel good because Celes has a turn to back it up. Before I go in the burst, though, we've got the free 1 Ilm Punch. Let's do that. Okay. Very good, very good. Okay, and then now what we're going to do is let's do an AA, because that's free. And the other thing with taking these free turns, it's going to burn my debuffs off, which I want to do. I could do a Blizzard combo. I don't know if the call reduces my debuff, though. The call might not. Yeah, the call didn't. That's fine. And then, yep, I think I'm ready to go burst phase here. So let's burst it up. We're hanging in there, guys. We're hanging in there. All right. Let's open with LD to get the LD buff up so I get my extra Brave hits. Yep. All right, yep, so this is the one turn. So basically my plan here, you can see we set it up really nice with Celes with the turn after. So we're literally going to go right from this to summon. And then I'm hoping at that point the boss is basically dead. That's kind of the plan. So let's go ahead and Nullifying Drop Kick here. Okay. Yep. Okay, and then we are going to Howling Fist. Do as much single target as possible. 1 Ilm Punch. Okay, I think we're playing this pretty well, guys. Yeah, that's fine. We can do this. Yep, and then we'll do Spinning Attack because it's free. Alright, and then we got this big fat burst attack coming. We have to just be very, very careful about this, but I think we're going to be okay. I think I'm just going to lay down the summon. Because I think as long as Bahamut doesn't get the turn immediately, as long as one of my characters gets a turn after summon, we're fine. which I think we would do. So what I'm going to do here is we're at 20%. So what we can do, let's just chip some damage here a little bit. So let's Runic. I mean, if we, like, I could just be, I mean, why not? Let's just Runic 4 times in a row. Like, we're at the point, we're at the end, right? So let's just go crazy. Let's use all the cheese tactics we can here. Yep, if Runic's free, let's just keep doing it. It's not a ton of damage, but we're whittling down, right? Because basically, as long as we can whittle down before the summon, we basically just want the summon to annihilate Bahamut and not even give him a chance after. Okay, and we got the ward gone, which is good. Yep, let's Runic again. I know I'm burning through Celes' buffs by doing this, but that's fine. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to... Let's do a stat lock all because it's free. And then let's go ahead. And I could bring Yuna in at any point, but this team is fine. I don't think I need Yuna here. So let's summon, and then we're going to freeze dive and make sure that that's refreshed. I mean, we go all out at this point, right? If we got LD usage, we're popping everything we got here. Okay, and we got him frozen too, which is really good from Shiva's effect. So let's freeze dive. Rem, I think Rem might be able to LDs, but if Rem's got LDs, we're going to use them. Let's see what we got here. Does Rem have... Rem does have an LD. And I don't want to, like, use up... I don't want to, like, waste free turns in here. So I'm just going to LD. Because I want Prishe to get as many turns as possible. So, like, I don't want to mess around swapping turns, anything like that. Let's just keep the damage coming while getting Prishe turns. Prishe is going to LD. Because why not? We just want to go crazy here. Yep, we're just going to LD. And we're going to get a launch on this, too. This is going to be big damage right here, guys. This is going to be big damage here because we got the launch coming. This would be a big time. This would be like a 3 mil attack almost, I bet. Yeah, 3.5 mil we did there on that launch. And then 10%. Yeah, he's still got a chunk of health. This is not over, guys, by any means here. I guess I'm going to swap turns and get Prishe up front again. And that did manipulate, you know, giving us more turns in front of Bahamut, which is good. I should be fine as long as I make sure to freeze the orb before Bahamut. Oh, the thing is, though, I burned all my runics with Celes. So I just got to be careful. And right now, Celes is lined up in front. So what I might do with Rem is I might swap into Celes so that I know that I have not Celes lined up before Bahamut. We'll do Nullifying Dropkick here. Yeah, that might have been a little bit foolish of me to burn all my runics because that's like my key to getting double turns, right, with Celes. So that could have been a mistake. I might be paying for that one. Let's see. We got him down to 8%, though. We're pretty darn close. The other thing is Yuna's burst effect, our burst attack is really strong. So what I could actually do here... Okay, so to be safe, what I think I'm going to do is I'm actually going to... Well, let's do this. Let's pop off cures because they're free and just do some chip damage. Same way we did with the runic, right? I'm going to save one cure, though, in case I need to do a back-to-back turn. I think we're going to be okay here. Because I think if I bring in Yuna and do a burst attack, between that and Prishe, I mean, Bahamut's got to be pretty annihilated by then. So I'm going to swap into Celes. Yep. Oh, good. And now Prishe is lined up. This is perfect. And then I'm going to take Celes' turn, and I'm going to turn that into a Yuna burst attack. I mean, this Yuna has the burst, right? I didn't even pay attention. I'm pretty sure this Yuna's got the burst. This Yuna better be green, y'all. Yeah, it is. All right, so let's do the sending. And let's send Bahamut to his demise here. Let's do it. Although it's AoE, so it's not doing nearly as much damage. This thing, single target, does a lot of damage. We still did some pretty good damage there, though. Okay, 3%, guys. We are bringing it down to the wire here. Okay. So, what does Rem got here? So, Rem's got Siphon Delta. We're out of swap turns. So, I'm going to do a cure because it's free. We're going to do as much chip damage as we can, guys. Try to get this Bahamut Gonzo. Yep. Oh, gosh. I hope Prishe is on a 1 Ilm Punch turn. If not, we could be dead here. Because Prishe has to... Oh, no. We got Rem up again. Okay, so Rem jumped in front there. Okay. Oh, gosh, this is close. All right. So we are not on that turn. Does Prishe jump? Prishe does not jump. Does Prishe jump here? No. All right. Well, let's do it. Let's just hope we get enough damage here. I think we're going to be okay. Wow, that was like a mill. Oh, dear Lord. Oh, dear. Okay, well, let's do this. Let's do Kurasame. Chip damage, right? Chip damage. Oh, my gosh. How much life do you have? Swap Brave all. Chip damage, guys. Chip damage. Chip damage. Let's go. Let's go. All right, we got it. We just snuck it in there. That could have been played a lot smarter, you guys, especially like when I busted off all those runics. But there you go. That's in a nutshell, basically the tactic to beat Bahamut. Just whatever team build you do, stay in front of his turns. Make sure you have units that can do double turns in front. There's a lot of strategy you could do. You could do like triple like green BT characters and just power through it. But there you go, guys. There's Bahamut beaten. Hope this helps. If you guys need help getting through any fights or just with team building, I do have a Discord that I post in all my comments, so feel free to jump in and join my Discord if you want some help. Hopefully this helps you guys out. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.